mudra with your hands to your heart. It's a very personal and a very grounding, balancing gesture. And then from there, we take this next 45 or so minutes to explore our breath, to explore our bodies, and just, a personal practice to help us stay present. So just in this moment, nothing else needs to be done while we're on our yoga mats. And then reach the arms up over your head. If you'd like, you can open your eyes and just stretch up. And then bring your hands together and once again, join the back in front of your heart. Nice. So now we're going to take, we'll take our feet and we'll take them out to the edges of the mat. So just a little bit of a wider stance. Reach your left arm up over your head. Bend your elbow so that the hand goes in between your shoulder blades, and then reach up with your right hand and grab your left elbow. So you're starting to stretch your tricep on the left side. Lean your head back into your left arm and drop your tailbone down just a bit. Pelvis stays forward. Now holding this position, lean your upper body over to the right. Push your left heel down into the ground. As you lean over to the right, you start to feel now more of a stretch on the left side of the body, certainly into the arm and into the shoulder. Bring a couple of breaths into this with the head leaning back. And with a little bit of space between your feet, you might find yourself going a little bit deeper into your standing side bend. Good. Release from that. Reach your both arms up over your head and go right to the other side. So bend the right elbow, the right arm, reach for it with your left hand. Lean your head back. So give yourself that little tricep stretch on the right side. And now take it over to the left. So your right side body gets long, your hips stay forward, head leans back, you got a nice space happening into the right side body. Side bending is very good for your spine. It's very good to do in the mornings, whether it's a yoga practice or not. Very good. Get the muscles on the sides of the body to respond. And then come back up again, reach your arms up over your head. Bring your palms together and take your hands to your heart center. All right, relax the arms down by your side. Second exercise, you're going to take the right arm, and I want you to reach it up. Look at your right hand and draw a big circle with it. Bring it all the way back. So don't worry about the form in your lower body. We're going for shoulder rotation here, and there's just something funny about looking at the hand that helps you to get kind of like a wider position or a bigger circle or a greater stretch into your shoulder. Now be nice to the shoulder. You can do this with a slight bend to your elbows if you're feeling a little cranky or a little tight in that part of the body. But do exaggerate the movement. So as you reach the arm up, reach it all the way up, reach it all the way back. Maybe you're leaning back a little bit, and that's okay to get this kind of motion in the right shoulder. Well done. Let's take it around one more time. Looking at the hand the whole way, and then relax that down. And we'll go right to the other side. So now your left arm reaches forward in front of you and up and back. As you turn a little bit into your torso, you reach up and you go back. So maybe feeling, it's kind of like a speed bump back there, right? You kind of get to this point, it's like, yikes, I gotta get over that thing. And maybe you diminish or lessen the stretch a little bit. That's okay. The shoulders are not the same left and right, or the hips or the legs or anything else. So this might feel a little tighter or a little bit more open. Well done. Let's go take it around one more time. Really like to get into the lats and the shoulders this way. Let your arms now come down by your side. So we're going to take our hands and interlace them behind us. Okay, so see if you can get your hands and your fingers interlaced all the way to the webbing. Your palms don't have to touch. And then take your knuckles, bring them over to the right side. So they're over to your right waist, and pull your right elbow in a bit. So now you got a lot going on into your left shoulder. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And I'm, oh my God, may they never touch or even come close, but just lean it over a bit so that you can feel the stretch into the left side of your neck and even the top of the left deltoid and such into the shoulder. Well done. And then come back up, good, and bring it on over to the other side. Take your knuckles, bring them over to the left side, hug your left arm in, and drop your head over to the left a little bit. Mine doesn't go far, right? And they really shouldn't. The muscles in the neck are shorter and probably a little tighter. So try a little tenderness. When we force a stretch, the body resists. When we kind of take our time a little bit and ease into it, then we can find some space happening in the body. Well done. And then bring it back up bring your head back up to the center. Keep your hands interlaced and bring them behind you. Maybe pull them back a little tiny bit. Take a little bend to your knees, slight bend to your knees here, and we'll take a forward fold down, dropping our head and our chest down and pulling your knuckles up away from your low back. So you start to feel a lot happening now into the back part of your body. Certainly warmed up the shoulders enough for this. Let your head and your chest hang. And, the more, the little bit bend to your knees, you give a little freedom to your spine. If your hamstrings are open enough, then you can work towards straightening your leg. No, that's not required. Keep the knuckles pulled away from your shoulders so that you kind of feel this space happening across your chest against gravity, and then let the weight of your head open up into your neck a bit as well. And then bend your knees a bit. Come up slowly. So we're going to come up nice and slow, lifting ourselves all the way up. Beautiful. And then release the arms. Once again, back to our standing position here. You can keep your feet this wide. Take a few shoulder rolls now. Just a few, little bit of randomness. And it's like a lot of space here already. I kind of like to do these stretches a little later on because then you can feel how open you are given just a few little things that we did for the shoulders so far. Well done. Nice. And then relax the shoulders down. Take an inhale and squeeze them up towards your ears and then let them hang. And again, lift your lats, lift your side body to lift your shoulders and then let them drop. One more time, lift up. This is good work for your upper spine and then take it down. Very nice. Now bring your feet a little closer to each other. Again, not touching, but closer. And we'll do some half salutes. Inhale, breathing. Reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, breathing, and take a forward fold. Drop down. We'll hold this fold just for a moment here. Let your head and your chest drop down just a bit. I would like your fingertips at least to be on the floor, to be touching the floor. Maybe they will touch a block or something. And again, bend your knees to make sure, or to help you get there. Okay, place your hands on your shins and inhale, push your chest forward. So it's a half lift here, strong back position. And then exhale just for one exhalation. Let it drop down. And then inhale, we stand. Come all the way up, moving your arms and your chest and everything at the same time. Exhale, breathing, bring your hands to your heart center. So one breath per movement. Inhale and exhale. Inhale is your half lift, reach forward. And then exhale, you drop down. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Breath with movement. Two more. Inhale, breathing. Arms up. Exhale, breathing. And forward fold. Come down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, and drop down. Good. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale. That's the heart center. Last one. Inhale, breathing. Sweep your arms up and stretch up. Exhale, breathing. Soft forward fold. Come down. Inhale. Half lift up. Long spine. Exhale. Then we drop down. Nice. Inhale, breathing. Come all the way up. And exhale, breathing. And bring your hands to your heart center. Very nice. Let's take a balance now. Standing on our left leg, tree pose. We'll take the sole of the right foot and place it on the inside of your left leg. So if you're challenged with your balance, taking the foot a little bit lower down the leg will make things a little bit easier. Taking a kickstand where you actually have your right toes on the floor will certainly help with your balance as well. And then of course, if your hips are more open, you can take the foot well up onto your leg. So you can find that position, and then I do want you to reach your arms up over your head. More back stuff. We think this is balance, and it's really spine work. Taking your arms up over your head does wonderful things for your posture. It keeps you, it does good things for your mood. So this is a mudra or a gesture of joy. We're holding our arms up over our head. Maybe we're not feeling joyous because we're trying to balance on our left leg, but we'll do the best that we can. We'll see if we can put those two elements together, right? The lightness of the upper body and the tremendous groundedness of your left leg. That is what is giving you the balance in this position. Beautiful. Now bring your hands to your heart center. Good. Take your right foot and step it back about 3 feet. So you have about 3 feet between your feet. Place your hands on your hips. You're still facing forward, and begin to lean over your front left leg. You might have to bend the leg in order to come forward. That's okay. Again, I would like your hands, at least your fingertips, to touch something on the ground. And then drop your head and your chest. Let the head and the chest drop down and fold over your left leg. This is called pyramid pose, Ardha. A very focused left leg stretch. Certainly a good position to do after that balancing pose. Very nice. Letting your head and your chest hang just for a moment. Firm up your back leg. Keep your right back thigh engaged. You might have to bend your left knee, like I said, if that makes things a little bit better. So now we're going to come into a runner's lunge. Keep your left foot where it is and slide your right foot to the back of the mat. So now you're bending your left knee significantly to about 90 degrees. Keep your right leg engaged and reach your chest forward away from your right leg. Lightly land your right knee down on the floor and lift yourself up. Low crescent lunge. Inhale, breathing. Up you go. Good. Now getting a little bit more grounded into the hips and into the right hip flexors. Putting weight into your left heel as you lift up through your chest and reach up through your fingertips. Well done. Your right hip flexors can open up a little tiny bit. The right quad can as well. If need be, put a towel underneath your right knee. If you need just that little bit of, kind of cushion or support there, that's good. Take one more breath here. And let's come into downward facing dog. So put your hands down on the floor, pick up your right knee, and take your left foot and step it to the back of your mat. Lift your tailbone up into the air, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. If you need to bend your knees because you feel your body weight coming too far forward, do so. That'll give you a little bit of space into your hips, really, and your low back that you can now get that length into the spine and kind of demand a little bit more space into your shoulders eventually, then maybe. Your heels can push a little closer to the floor. Your legs can straighten out. Keep breathing in this position. Let your side body get long, tailbone lifting up. One more breath. And child's pose. Come forward, put your knees down on the floor, and let your hips come back towards your heels. If you'd like to, you can stack your hands and let your forehead rest on your hands. A very lovely posture. This is a good pose to come into at any point during your day. You don't need to do a formal yoga practice. Just put a little child's pose into your world. It's a fantastic stretch for your legs and your knees and your ankles and your hips and your back. Take one more breath here. By all means, help yourself to child's pose. And then lift yourself up to your hands and your knees. Very nice. So sometimes in lieu of doing a vinyasa, right, if you don't want to lie down on your belly and do a strong back bend or anything like that, you can take a few cuts and goes. So this is a very nice option for you if lying down on the belly is not a good idea, or coming down to the floor all that way. Sometimes it doesn't work. So kind of meeting it halfway by coming to your hands and your knees and working your spine this way is just fine. I like to do these a little slow because I can find a little bit more depth. I can always seem to find a little bit more space into my spine. Nice. And then gently settle back to the center. Good. And then bring yourself up. Come up onto your knees. And then we'll just stand back up at the top of the mat. Okay. And we'll do all of that on the other leg. So we're starting with the tree pose. We're going to stand on the right leg. Take the left foot, the bottom of your left foot, find somewhere on your right leg to place it, even if it's a little kickstand. That's what I'm demonstrating now. And then reach the arms up over your head. Good. And continue to lift. So I want you to feel as if you're taking weight out of your leg, your ankle, your knee, your hip. Then your arms up over your head helps to reverse gravity a little bit, which is good. Very good. And as you reach up, draw your belly in. Firm up your right leg. And find your little stillness. You'll never be completely still. But trying to be still helps to keep you in towards the midline of things. Okay. Last breath. Nice holding. And then place your hands on your hips. Good. And take your left foot and step it back about 3 feet or so. Pyramid pose. Right toes pointing forward. Left toes at a bit of an angle. Hands to your hips. Please come forward over your right leg. Putting your fingertips down on the ground. Let your head and your chest drop in. Good. Again, you might bend your right leg a little bit if you're feeling like you need that. Do try and get at least some part of your hands, fingertips on the floor, and let the spine get long. Push your left heel down. Feel your left quad squeeze just a little tiny bit. I love this stretch. Very, very deep stretch for the back part of your body. Well done. One more breath. Good. And then here we go. We're coming to the runner's lunge. So start bending your right leg. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Lengthen through both your left leg and your spine. Kind of reach forward. It is a runner's lunge, like you're getting ready to sprint. It's a fantastic stretch for your hips. Put your left knee down on the ground. Low crescent lunge. Inhale, breathing. Lift yourself up. Lift yourself all the way up. Lifting your chest up, maybe lean back a little tiny bit. You want to get your back more engaged. Drop down into your left thigh a little tiny bit. You can feel that open up and stretch. Nice. If your shoulders are still a little tight, and take your arms out a little wide, that's okay. And then make sure you're breathing. Every new shape you take into your body, you bring a breath, you add a breath to it. Well done. Last breath here. And downward facing dog. Put your hands down, pick up your left knee, and step your right foot to the back of the mat, coming into your down dog. Letting the head and the chest hang. Good. So in our dog now, we're going to come into a little bit of a twist. So what I want you to do is stay in your dog, but make it a shorter dog. So you're walking your feet up. Okay? So your feet are a little closer to your hands. And then take your right hand and reach for the outer left leg as low as you can and start to pull your chest underneath your left arm. So you're coming into this nice rotation into the upper back. Pull your left hip back. Good. Let the head and the chest drop down. Firm up your left leg. and your left arm. Very nice. And then switch. Bring your right hand down, and with your left hand, reach for the outside of your right leg. Give that a little pull. And turning your chest over to the right side. Hip bones lift up. Push through your right foot, your right hand. Good. Give yourself this wonderful twist into your spine. Nice. And then release. Bring your hand back down from your short dog. Just put your knees down on the floor, and you'll land on your hands and your knees. This time we'll take side cats and cows. So now take your ribs all the way out to the left, and bring your head over your right shoulder. And then go through the center and jut the ribs out to the right, and look over your left shoulder. 2 more times on each side. Over to the left, look over the right, and then to the other side. Nice. Again, a little slow. 1 more time each side. You might find a little bit more space somewhere in your body. And then release back to the center. And again, come up off of your hands and step yourself up to the top of the mat. Mountain pose once again. So now we'll take our half salute and we'll add a warrior 1. So inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, breathing. Take a forward fold. Good. Inhale, breathing. Half lift forward and step your right leg to the back of the mat. Drop the right heel down and lift your chest up. Front leg bend, it's the forward facing lunge. Your warrior 1 pose, reach up through the fingertips. Good. Push down through the front heel, press through your back foot, draw your belly in. Lift up through your chest, hold your chest up. Hold your arms up, soften your eye gaze, and clench your jaw. Notice if you're gripping the floor with your toes. See if you can find a little freedom there as you reach up through your side body. Beautiful. And then you can always find a little bit of depth in the pose as you warm up into it. Maybe you can find a little bit more space and get down there a little bit deeper. Very nice. Place your hands on your hips and straighten your left leg. Right. Turn your left toes to the right. Okay. So you're in the standing wide-legged position. Reach your arms out to the side. We'll take a side bend over to the right. Bring the right arm down, bring the left arm up. Then let the left side body open up. Good. Come over to the other side, take the left arm down, bring your right arm up and over. Come back up to the center, arms out to the side, and we'll take a forward fold, come down. Put your hands down on the floor. Drop your head and drop your chest. Good. So position yourself where you can feel a little supported by your arms, but then also allow the elbows to soften and let your chest and your head come down to the ground. Actually let the spine hang off of your hips. Very nice, everybody. So your tailbone will start to lift up. Maybe you need a little bit of a bend to your knees when you do that, and that's fine. Letting your head go. So this is another variation of a forward fold. Good. Now push into your hands, look forward. So lift your chest up. And I want you to start walking your hands towards your left foot and turn your left toes towards the front of your mat. So now we're back to this runner's lunge. Put your right knee down. Place your right palm flat and pick up your left arm into a twist. Reach all the way up through your left arm, opening up your chest. And then take your left hand down on the inside of your left leg and walk your left foot a little bit out to the left for a lizard lunge pose here. This does not have to be a terribly deep pose to get terribly deep into your body. I prefer to hold my chest up and feel the weight go into the hips. And the hips are going to drop down as much as they're going to drop down. And that's taking me to the stretch that I probably need. You don't go past your stretch, your end game. Be careful of your physical destinations in your yoga practice. Manage the sensations that come up and tread lightly, particularly when you're working with gravity here. Now, this is really good stuff for the hips. So good to keep them well stretched. If anything, just for the health of your back. Take one more breath here. And then gently take your weight back and bring your left leg back next to your right. So you're on your hands and your knees. So back to the hands and the knees. And this time we'll take an Anahata pose, so which is a backward bend. Keep your hips over your knees. Walk your hands to the front of your mat. You can take them a little wide and then drop your head and your chest down towards the floor. See if you can keep your arms engaged and lifted. Now this is probably going to be our deepest stretch here in class today. It can be quite a bit on your shoulders. Your hips would stay somewhere over your knees a bit, but then the upper body comes down to the ground. Be careful of your neck and how much weight you are putting in your front. And then very gently take your hands and bring them back under your shoulders and push yourself up. Good. Now bring your legs together, tuck your toes, and start to take your weight back a bit. So we'll come into a little toe crunching position here. And maybe, that's what I'm doing here, is as far as you get into it. This is pretty deep. The more you walk your hands back towards your knees and lift your chest up, kind of the deeper the stretch that's going to happen into the feet, the arches, the ankles, and the toes. Perhaps you can actually sit up on your heels. This is good for our feet. Good for the feet. Hold yourself up. Everybody always holds themselves up nice and tall in this position, right? Minimize the weight that we're putting into our feet. That's okay. Here we go. Take your arms up over your head. Big breath. Inhale. Hang in there. And then exhale, breathing. Just dive forward, coming out of the position. Take the tops of your feet and just kind of tap them on the floor as you do that. Good. And then push yourself up and step back up to the top of your mat. We'll do that on the other side. Inhale, breathing. Arms up, big breath. Exhale, breathing. Come down, take a forward fold. Good. Inhale, half lift, and step your left leg to the back of the mat. So it's warrior one, that's where we started. Lift yourself up. Your Habadrasana one. Taking your arms up by your ears, dropping down into your front heel. Lift up through your chest. Pulling your belly in as you press into your outer back foot. Reach up through your fingertips. Settle down into the stretch. Good. 2 more breaths here. Maybe there's some depth to be had, right? Or maybe a little bit more of a reach up into your upper body. 1 more breath. Nice. And then place your hands on your hips and straighten out your right leg. So now turn your right toes towards your left, keeping your legs wide. Good. Last little bit of the shoulders. Let's take eagle arms. So I want you to take your right arm on top of your left arm, bend your elbows, and that's it, Kevin. Bring your hands to an inverted prayer. See if you can get your thumbs to point towards your nose. And then lift your elbows up, drop your shoulders down, and pull your hands away from your face. Subtle, tiny micro movements in this position, as this is a very strong shoulder experience. Take 1 more breath here. And then undo your arms and come to the other side, taking your left arm on top of your right. Palms together or close or somewhere maybe touching just a little tiny bit. Drop your shoulders down, lift your elbows up. Pull your hands away from your face. Huge shoulder opener. Last breath here. And then undo. Reach the arms apart, broaden across your chest, and take a forward fold again. So now this time you can either take, go where you were the last time we were in this, or perhaps grab your calves, your ankles, your heels, the lower part of your legs, and just pull your chest towards your legs. Lift your tailbone up. Let your head and your chest hang. Inner thighs open up as well. Side body gets long, inner thighs, the whole experience for your legs here. These really are valuable poses. A little bit of an inversion as well, getting our heads below our hearts. Very nice. You're gonna bring your hands back under your shoulders, push into the floor, lift your chest, and start walking yourself towards your right foot, turning your right toes forward. Place your left knee down on the floor. Left palm flash. Now lean into it and pick up your right arm, open up into a twist. Turning your rib cage towards your right knee, maybe looking up at your right hand. Bring your right hand down on the inside of your right leg. Walk your right foot just an inch or so over to the right. So our lizard lunge here, it's going to feel different than the other side. Okay. Let your chest, your hips, drop down a bit. Some people come onto their forearms. I prefer to just stay on the hands. Give it a little bit of breath work here. Nice. Two more breaths, settling into your stretch. Unclench your hips, let go. Allow this space to come into your body. Last breath. And then release. Shift your weight back a bit and take your right leg back next to your left, coming back onto your hands and your knees. Good. So now walking your legs together. So instead of the toe crunch, we'll take the Vajrasana pose. It's essentially the same pose, but with the tops of the feet on the floor. It can be quite deep for your knees. Again, just start walking your hands back, taking your hips closer towards your heels. And if you have to support yourself with your arms, kind of mitigating the weight with your arms, that's fine. Eventually, maybe, you'll sit on your heels and lift your chest up. Huge stretch for your legs and for your knees. Good. Holding your chest up as you do so. I'm going to take one more breath here. Get some space into our legs. And then very gently release by coming forward. Good. So we'll stretch out the legs and take another side bend. So tuck your right toes under, slide the toes to the back of the mat so your right leg is extended. And then take your right leg, slide it over to your left, keep the leg as straight as possible and look over your left shoulder. So now you're into a very deep side bend on the right side of the body. Good. Firm up through your arms, eye gaze goes way back. Good. And then take the leg back and bring the knee down. We'll go to the other side. Tuck your left toes under, slide the toes towards the back of your mat, and now slide over to the right side of the mat. And take your whole head and your eyes, look back over your right shoulder. Left rib cage opens up. Stay firm with your arms. Well done. One more breath. And then release, bringing the knee down. Good. All right. We'll shift gears here. We're going to come onto our backs. Let's get our legs out in front of us, and we'll lie down on our backs with our knees bent, our feet on the floor. Have your arms by your sides with your palms facing down. And we'll begin with some dynamic bridges. So that's where we lift our hips and our arms at the same time. Inhale, the hips lift way up and the arms come up over your head. You can feel your shoulders really assisting in the pose. And then exhale, slowly bring it all down, bringing your chest, your back, your low back, your arms right back down where you started. And then continue with that. Inhale, reaching up. Carefully, you're not putting any weight on your neck or even too much weight on the head. And then exhale, breathing. Love to feel the mid and upper back connect with the earth as we come down. Now continue. Don't wait for my words. Take this into your breath. Lifting your hips up like this really gives your hip flexors a nice opening. Great posture for your hips and for your back. This is a very, very focused and different way of doing kind of cat-cow exercises. More way of working into the muscles that weave themselves throughout the spine. As you do this, try and keep the head in a neutral position. Don't look back behind you or over your head in any way. And then very gently bring yourself all the way back down to your starting point. Bring your right knee into your chest, interlace your fingers, good, and slowly extend your left leg on the floor. Take little circles with your right knee, little gentle, nourishing little circles, working into the hip, but in a more of a dynamic way, not the static holding kinds of stretches, but this is a different way of finding movement in the body, is to actually move a little, but to move slow. Maybe there's a crack or a pop in there somewhere, so be it. Then go the other way. Take the knees around, or the knee around, I should say, the other direction. Good. Nice. And then pause. Good. Now pull the knee in. Give yourself a pretty good compression, pinching feeling in your right hip. Pick up your head and bring your nose towards your right knee. Good. Kind of hold that up and just reach your arms out. Pulling the knee in, holding the head and the chest up. Now float your left leg up off the floor just about an inch and get a little bit of belly work happening here. Little bit of a squeeze, little burn, and then relax and lower down. Right. Let's do that on the other side. So bend your left leg, the left leg in. Nice. And then bring the knee into your shoulder, interlace the fingers, and slowly extend your right leg on the floor. Draw your little circles with your hip. Make this feel good. Draw the little circles going around. Good. They're not the biggest circles. They really can't be, shouldn't be. But it's just a wonderful way of getting kind of deep into your left hip. So the joint itself. May it always be pain-free. And then switch directions, go the other way. Getting, All right, and then pull the knee in towards your shoulder. Pick up your head, bring your nose towards your knee. Good. Press your low back down. Float your right foot up. Let go of the leg and hold the compression in the belly. The squeezing in the belly. Getting the shoulder blades up off the floor. Beautiful. And release. Back down. Nice. Once again, bring your both knees into your chest. Keep your knees a little wide and keep your back flat on the floor, your shoulders. Feel the broadness of your back on the ground. Lift your feet up towards the ceiling. And then reach up from the insides of your legs and grab your feet, your ankles, happy baby pose, the outsides of your feet, maybe your big toes. And as you pull the legs down, don't let the hips curl up. That's the dynamic. Oh, tremendous stretch. Again, for your hips, but so nourishing for the back. It feels good to press it down in this position. Press your shoulders down as well. Nice. One more breath. And then bring your knees into your chest once again. Good. So let's take our twist. So actually, place your feet on the floor. And then lift your hips up. Move them to the left like an inch or so. Reach your arms out to the side. Hold the knee or lift the knees up and drop them over to the right. So you've got this really nice line in your spine. If you're comfortable, turn your head to the left and let the spine ring out, keeping your left shoulder on the floor. Your knees will fall over as far as they will fall over. They might not touch the floor. Unclench the belly and the back. Let that soften. Let that relax. Good. Two more breaths. Release. Come back to the center. So recenter everything. Okay? And then take your hips, lift them, and bump them over to the right a little bit. And then lift your feet up and drop your knees all the way over to the right. Turn your head to the right. Let the right shoulder relax. Allow the twist to come into your back. And even closing your eyes as we get into a little bit of a Shavasana energy here. Last little twists here are quite significant to the practice. So good for your back. Take it to where it's going to work for you. Got some hip stuff going on here. It's certainly lower back. Be quite healing for the spine. Very nice. Two more breaths. In and out through the nose. Beautiful. And then release. Very nice. So we'll take a little collective Shavasana here. So find yourself back into the center of your mat. It's a very valuable pose. It's the pose we hold the longest. Find a little extension into your legs. Let your toes flop out. Palms can face up. Your arms can be a little bit away from your body. And then close your eyes and just feel the complete aligned support of the ground. Take just a few moments here together in stillness and in silence. So make your next breath a little deeper than your last breath. And bring a little movement into your body, your arms or your legs or your head. Hands. And take your arms up over your head. Give yourself a full body stretch. And bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. And then bring yourself up to your seat. So, I would say the body's so warmed up now to hopefully take a comfortable seated position of your choice. Just find a tall, aligned spine, open heart. But sit however it is that's most comfortable for you. And then bring the left and the right sides of your body together by joining your hands together. Place them in front of your heart. Tilt your chin forward if you're feeling grateful for your practice. As the acknowledgement of the present moment. And a huge thanks from me to you. So beautiful practices, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I look forward to our next time together. Namaste. So thank you. I'll say goodbye from here. So have a wonderful week. Thank you so much. Bye. And I hope to see you next Tuesday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.